Almost 9 million people from low-income households die of cancer every year. As the world observed Cancer Day, we share with you stories of women who have not only survived cancer, but are also providing support and enlightening members of the public. I'm Olasumbo. Welcome to Soundhealth. According to the United Nations, almost 9 million people from the low-income households die from cancer every year. Cancer is a malignant growth or tumor resulting from an uncontrolled division of cells in parts of the body. The most common of the cancers are breast, cervical, skin, prostate, colon, cancer of the lungs, and leukemia. It is another World Cancer Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to create awareness on the terror of cancer. This year, the message is, we can, I can. A new study indicates that 42% of all cancer cases are related to risk factors within our control. For Bimbo, cancer can be beaten by reducing risk factors and early diagnosis, which are key. She shares her experience.
Up to today, nobody has an answer for how to prevent it. As I said, I felt a lump in my breast when I was in Nigeria, when I was about 14, 15, 16. And I was thinking, oh, I'm still growing breast, you know, I'm still at that early stage. And I went to England. For the first 20 years of my life, I didn't know what cancer was or anything. And I think I went for a checkup. They said it's benign. Okay, it stopped there. But by the time we picked it up, it was too late. I had no other option than to have a mastectomy, which I did. And after that, you think you're a superwoman. You know, we're brought up in Africa to be strong, to do everything. Nobody told me the psychological effect, the side effect of going through a cancer treatment. Normally, people will think you're going to lose your job. You'll be saying, who is going to look after my kids? Who is going to look after the bills? So with that, doesn't even help your recovery. So it even took ages. That's why there should be more cancer voices, more advocates to say these are the symptoms, these are the side effects, these are what we go through. Because people think, oh, you've had cancer, that's it. After my cancer, I was in good care. I had a support group. I had people supporting me. I go to other people, hear their story. So I could share my story, they could share their story, they know where I'm coming from. As I said, every audience is different. I can't just talk to someone who hasn't had cancer about cancer. So you need to be in that place.
I discover it's just be like a lumps. It's very thick and hard. So when I do press my breast every morning like this, I just thought it's paining me. I said, okay, let me go to the hospital. At times I have fever. At times I have headache, migraine. So on getting there, my doctor said I should go and take this X-ray. So from this X-ray, we detect this tumor. Then on getting there, they said they're going to operate me. I said, operation for what? They said they will remove it. They will not cut my breast. I said, okay.
Because chemo seems to have a lot of side effects. Mental, some people, it gives them a lot of psychological problems, mental problems. I could remember one of the major things he did was that a lot of memory loss, because at times the drug gets you so confused, you're lying down, you can't sleep, you're uncomfortable, you're sitting up. It just turns your system upside down. Some of the things I believe would be helpful to people after the treatment was I had to go on coconut diet in the morning. Every morning I would take 4 tablespoons of baby coconut, because coconut basically is meant to be an anti-poison. And since chemo is a poison, coconut would help detox your system gradually of that chemotherapy, the poison that has been injected into you.
Survival is all about early detection. And it's important I mention this. It's also for those who are terminal. Everybody assumes, okay, if it's late stage, that means you're dying. It's about the quality of life once you're terminal. My mother was terminal, and I was with her as she passed, and she passed away with dignity and pain-free. We're great believers in it's not about the length of life you have if you're terminal. It's about the support you get to have quality of life and a pain-free death. So we also support in palliative care as well, because in Nigeria you have 80% mortality for cancer, 80%. So that means 20% of people are surviving. And in a country where you have over 2 million cancer patients, do the mathematics yourself. It's not encouraging, but we can make a difference. So we just say everybody has to join hands. Foundations need support. We rely 100% on donations of cash and kind.
According to medical experts, it is important to remember that the more lifestyle risk factors that are combined, the more a person's risk for cancer increases. It has been discovered that these cancers are largely a result of 17 modifiable lifestyle behaviors, such as smoking. But researchers also pointed to factors such as obesity, alcohol intake, poor diet, and lack of exercise.
I can tell you that many women they focus on their families. They're more concerned about their children. They're more concerned about their husband. They forget themselves. So in so doing, most of the time, they may fall ill. So part of the things from a male perspective, I think first and foremost, their husbands who can help them. By bringing them to focus, you can suggest to your wife, you can suggest to your spouse and tell her that, let's go for a health check. This is, you don't have to, as you have been doing for us, we want to do for you. Encourage her to go and do a checkup for herself. That way she can get things early if there's anything. And I think women are also more vocal. They're more vocal in life. Well, right now, yes, you can see there are more women in this whole story of cancer. Men are less. They don't talk about it more. They will keep it themselves. But the women are more vocal about it. And maybe because there's more occurrences of breast cancer in the world than prostate cancer. So I can understand why that as well. But for a male perspective, for a woman, I think the only thing I can say is they should remember themselves too. And you can survive without them. You don't need your husband or anybody to encourage you. Remember yourself too, making sure you take care of yourself. Because if you are not there, that goes on. They're going to continue. So what I would say is I would encourage women, make sure you check yourself. There are just simple ways of making sure you palpate and check your breast. Make sure you go for your mammograms or scans maybe once or twice a year. Once in 2 years or once per year to ensure that doesn't happen. You have to take care of yourself as a woman because you have to be there for your kids, you have to be there for your family, you have to be there for everybody. And even for yourself, you have to be alive. So make sure that all women go and check themselves up.
Chemicals. Every day of the week, the chemicals are sweet too. But they are dangerous for the body. All those things we have to have food now before they are prepared. If you go to the village, they just take things from the forest, from the farm, and give it to eat. But we add a lot of things together. They made the food sweeter, but we are inviting cancer. That is the truth.
A favorable policy environment where a private organization can help government in doing massive vaccination. For instance, in Sweden, there is not one single case of cancer of the cervix. Not one. They've eradicated cancer of the cervix in that country. We can do the same here if we can vaccinate all young girls under the age of 12. And we can do it in Lagos. We can do it in isolated areas in which government will make it possible for us to give the vaccine, and not only to give the vaccine, but for us to be able to publish our results. And these results may take 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
What we want is for the government to please try and support as well. Even if they can support by giving the necessary tools needed to help these people, like the radiotherapy machines working, give us a comprehensive cancer center in Lagos. If we can even have one in Lagos, honestly, sky's the limit. We don't have to. Look, people are willing to spend money. Nigerians have the money to spend when it comes to treatment, so why not? So it's very key that we're appealing to the government to please come to our aid. the aid of cancer patients.
It is never too late, it is never too bad, and you are never too old or sick to start from scratch once again. Early diagnosis improves the chances of survival for millions of people living with cancer. you
Cellular immunotherapy to treat leukemia and lymphomas.
Are we getting closer to a better treatment for cancer? Treatment for many cancers remains mostly as surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. Unfortunately, for patients whose cancer returns after intensive chemo and other traditional treatments, options are close to none. There's promising news coming for children and adults fighting the battle with leukemia, as well as non-Hodgkin's lymphomas. One of the first cellular immunotherapies is about to hit the market, and early results suggest these diseases, even in advanced stages, may be curable. T cells are units of the blood critical to the immune system's ability to detect and kill cancer cells. Chimeric antigen receptor, CAR T-cell therapies, represent a type of immunotherapy where T cells are removed and genetically reprogrammed to seek and destroy tumor cells. The groundbreaking treatment is expected to be presented to the FDA in 2017, with hopes to trigger a wave of approvals for many blood cancers and lymphomas.
That's Sound Health this week. Remember, together we can beat cancer with early diagnosis. For comments and inquiries, please send SMS on 0818-815-3695 or follow us on social media at LTV Social, #SoundHealth. A sound health is a sound mind. Make healthy living your choice.